In our last Golem March video, we tested two attacks, the 10-40-40-10 split and the 0 infantry split. In today's video, we're going to be testing a few more marches, as well as that 0 infantry with a few different heroes. Come join in and let's see which march has the best results. Hey guys, PokeMountain here from twitch.tv/PokeMountain, bringing you another Learning Corner episode. In today's episode, we're going to be doing the Golem Marches again and see how they fare up now. The last video we did with the Golem March, we did the 10-40-40-10 split, as well as the 0 infantry split. And the 0 infantry did well. It definitely did better than the 10-40-40-10 split, but I did get a few recommendations. Each Golem episode, we're going to try a different recommendation versus the current winner. So at the moment, the 0 infantry is winning. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 marches against the Golem with the 0 infantry. Obviously, with the heroes having leveled up and with us now having T10, we're going to need a new baseline anyway. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to do 5 marches with something that has been recommended to us. Now, the other one that was recommended to us by a player who said that they've never done as well as when they use this particular march is the only Bowman march. They insist 100% that they've never had better results than when they've used only Bowman. So today that is what we are going to do. We have got 2 marches set up over here. This first one includes the new T10 troops, which is the same 0 infantry, so it's cavalry and bowman with Dindrain and Brutus for the Bowman ability. And the second march, the other one we're going to be trying, is the 3 tiers of just Bowman. So we've got the T10 Bowman, the T9 Bowman, and the T8 Bowman. So we're going to be giving both of these a try today and see how they go. We will obviously record it like we did before in Excel. We'll add it to the same document so that we know at all times how we are specifically faring. Let me get to that document so I can show you here. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, we have the original 10-40-40-10 and the no infantry split. Today we're going to be adding the just Bowman, and then we're going to do the no infantry again, but this time including the T10 troops, because we need to keep that baseline constant. Whichever one of these two win, we will obviously then use that one going forward against whatever marches we attempt. Hey guys, just future me quickly adding something in here. One of the other things we're going to be attempting, according to KOA themselves, they have their own recommended formation. Now obviously we want to get as many attacks in as we can with each Golem March to test with, so I'm going to be testing with my farm account the recommended KOA formation versus the no infantry formation. If you want to see what that is, all you're going to do is you're going to go to news and recommended, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom where it says Kingdom Threat. Scroll down a little bit to the middle, and there we go. It tells you exactly the breakdown that they're looking for. The attacks are performed solo with a maximum of 10 hits per player. Hits on the Golem vary by march, capacity, size, troop, tier, and skills. Use a mix of bowmen and cavalry of all tiers, but more of the higher level. Include 1,000 infantry of each tier and 5,000 tier 9 distance siege. Lower amounts for the lower tier distance siege. So if you don't have, for example, tier 9 distance siege, you're going to look also for which is your next best tier that has distance siege. Do not use ram. Do not use tower and ram siege troops. They are very slow and incremental damage is low. Infantry helps get higher damage on each golem hit. So we're going to be attempting this as well with the farm account, and we will have the results of all 4 of these sets of attempts here today. Alright, so what do we got here? So I've shown you that we've actually got our 2 marches ready to go. As I say, the one with the T10 troops, the T10 cavalry bowmen, and over here bowmen exclusively. We are pretty much ready to go. We have got our accolades active. So if you want to do your accolades, just come here, click accolade, select the accolades that you want. As you can see, we have got the Labyrinth for infantry activated. We have got the labyrinth for cavalry, troops, and for bowmen, all ready to go. Each one giving us an additional 10% of damage, except for the troop one, which gives us an additional 10% army damage. So those are ready to go. I've got my Deadly Conqueror, which gives me an additional 5% to troop attack, which is across the board. So that's good to have set up. And we have our existing buffs, our normal buffs going. So if I go here, city buffs, you can see my attack is ready and my march is ready. Again, if I had the gold, I could always come through here and I can purchase from the store the Crown of Command and the Battle Blade, and I can alternate between the two. Crown of Command when I set off my march, because it gives me an additional 15% to march capacity. As the march launches, switch over to Battle Blade so I can get the 15% troop attack bonus. Okay. Another thing that you guys can do if you've got the gold is your Tombs of War. If you go look at your Tombs of War and you see how many you've got at the moment, I've only got 8. But mine are all based on infantry, for example. If I had the 1,000 gold that I was willing to spend, I could reset this and switch all my Tombs of War into my bowmen first, and any excess ones I can put into my cavalry, because those are the two that's going to be going into the attacks. So I could do that, which will give me a hell of a lot more damage than I would actually be getting right now. At the moment, my gold is very limited. I've only got 1,000 gold, so 1,200 gold, so I don't particularly want to do that. So yeah, we will hold off on that for now. Okay, so let's get ready to do our golem attacks. What we're going to do is we're going to go through to the golem, and we've got to remember to check 2 things. Don't forget, even though you've added all those boosts, you still have this boost here, which gives you an extra 10% to your formation, your march formation, for a period of 30 minutes. And we've got to check, make sure that our equipment is set up correctly. At the moment, we've got both of those ready to go. We're just going to see if we can find a spot that's a little bit closer that we can go to, teleport to, so that we can do our marches on the golem and switch out. Right, so if we go here, this should be a good spot to go. Let's teleport to there. Alright, let's have a look at our march timer for this golem. 11 seconds. In our particular case, because all we're going to be doing is switching our heroes, our appointed hero out from Gawain into the Oberon, or maybe for Madoc in your particular case, for example. All we're going to be doing is switching those two. That's enough time. But if we were using the Crown of Command and the Battle Blade, we would need a bigger distance. We would need at least 20 seconds to be able to switch between them. Right, so I think we're ready to go. Let's go and activate our Colossal March. So we're getting the extra 10%, and we will throw the extra 10% into bowmen, same as we did last time. Right, so everything's ready to go. Let's do our first 5 attacks and see how we fare. So there we go. As you can see, the extra bowman, we're just going to chuck it into here. And we're going to say March, Heroes, Appoint, switch these two. And bam. And we're going to speed through these 5, same as we did last time. And we will then see you after these 5 attacks. So it was at this point that unfortunately the microphone stopped recording for some reason. So I'm going to be doing a voiceover so that you guys can hear and see what exactly it is that we're talking about. I do apologize for that. It is just one of these technical issues that sometimes happens. Okay, so we've done our 5 attacks now, which were for the first formation, and we're going to get ready to now switch over to the second formation, so that we can test that out as well. So here we go. We're going to go into the golem again, and we're going to attack this time using the bowman only formation. As you can see, T90, T8, T98 and T7, add the extra bowman in and set off those marches, doing our hero swap outs. And once again, we will do We will speed up the video so that you don't have to sit here watching this for prolonged periods of time for no reason whatsoever. And once again, we have finished our 5 marches for the second formation test. And we're going to have a look at what the results are now. Just click help the allies. Just going to switch back my formation quickly. Alright, let's go have a look at the mail. Once again, this is voice over me because of the failed microphone recording. Weird. Okay, so there we go. You can see there's the 10 reports. We're just going to mark the 5th one so it's easy for us to remember which way we went. First one, 4.9 million. Second one came in at 4.8 million. Third one at 5 million. Fourth one at 4.9 million. Fifth one at 5.2 million. Then the other 5 tests for the second formation, 5 million, 5.2 million, 4.7 million, 5 million, and the last one, 4.6 million. So that is those 2 formations tested out. Now we're going to switch over and try the last 2. Okay, so here we are now. We're in the farm account, and we're going to be trying out the KOA recommended formation versus the no infantry formation and see how well they do. I actually do have enough infantry here, and as you can see, or enough troops here, and as you can see, I've split it up quite nicely, as it recommends 1,000 of each infantry member. And then splitting up the lower tiers accordingly, with cavalry and bowmen having the 500 distance siege troops, 5,000 sorry, distance siege troops, and just going down, putting in what I can as far as I could, sort of thing. And then, like it recommends, it says the higher tier troops, or the highest tier troops, you put more into it. So we've gone ahead and put our maximum into those 2, which is the tier 9 cavalry and the tier 9 bowmen. Right, so that is how we've set up this first formation, and I'm using Morian and Igraine for these because this is the general account, so the general farm account. So what happens is it doesn't really have the NS1, 2, and 3 heroes. So I'm utilizing the best of what's freely and easily available to the game. So that's Morian and Igraine. And I'm using them in the second march here. As you can see, the one with 0 infantry. So I'm using just the knights and just the bowmen. And we're going to use this as the baseline to work off of, because we know how well this actually fares. Now, Igraine will boost me for my cavalry, and Morian will boost me for my bowmen. And hopefully they do hold up the same way that the heroes that I'm using in my main account hold up for us to test with. So we have set all our buffs already on this account. We have got the accolades all set up and good to go. I don't actually have a leveled up Gawain here in this account, so I can't use his march capacity boost. So I'm just going to leave it at Oberon and get the best I can out of what I've got. So we've got a standard setup over here with the 3 appointed heroes, Oberon, Morian, and Igraine. And we're going to start attacking the Golem. Again, we're going to teleport closer, but this time we don't have to worry about switching out heroes and stuff. So we're going to teleport very, very close, or as close as we can, so that we can just run through these 5 tests of each side as quickly as possible. So there we go. Now we're going to start off our attacks itself. And we will then add these up to the Excel spreadsheet as well at the end, and we can do a cross comparison and see how well it does. Just bear in mind, this is a farm account, so it doesn't have the same boost and statistics that the other one has. So yeah, we'll just do the best we can with it, and if the results are promising, we might redo this with the main account on the next golem. So remember guys, always check your equipment, make sure you got the best equipment available, put into your slots and ready to go. I'm just changing mine over here quickly, and let's go for the first attack. I'm going to select the first one, which is these 5 are going to be for the KOA recommended march, and we'll see how they do. We're going to speed it up again, and I will be back for the next set of 5 marches. Right, so here we are. We've done our 5 attacks with the KOA suggested. We're now going to switch over and do the 5 attacks with no infantry, and we will cross compare them shortly. Again, speeding up the video. So here we are again. We find ourselves after the 5 attacks, and we can have a look at the actual difference now between the two. Let's go to the mail, and we're going to scroll down through to the beginning of our golem attacks. Oh, Sad Papa scouted me. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to mark the one that's halfway, just so it's easy for us to take note of, and we're going to check each one quickly. You won't be able to see necessarily because of the screen overlay, but the first one is 1,000,000 damage. The second one, 1,000,000 damage as well. The third one, 1,000,000 damage. The fourth one is 996,000. And the fifth one is 1,000,000 damage as well. Pretty consistent. Let's check the next ones with no infantry. We're going to start off with 781,000. Interesting. Then 781,000 again. 785,000. 756,000 and 777,000. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go put these results into the spreadsheet, and I shall be back with all that information. Okay, so here we go. We've got our Excel spreadsheet, and we've got our microphone working again. Yay! Okay, so what we've got here on the spreadsheet, I've split it up. The yellow section is the main accounts attacks that we did today, the comparison there. And then the green section is what we did with the farm account. In the main account, you can see this column is just Bowman. You can see pretty much a solid average between 4.6 and 5 million, 4.6 and 5 million. It does drop quite drastically here at the 4.6, but generally speaking, we're around the same area. On the no infantry side, we have been extremely stable at 4.8 to 5.2 million. Giving us an average between of each being with just Bowman 4.9 million and also 4.9 million with no infantry. Extremely close, but the no infantry does just take it with 27,000 points of a damage difference. That's all, just 27,000 points. Now you might find that if we ran this one 10 times, it would be pretty consistent as well. If you ran this 10 times, it might be more consistent. Who knows? But at the end of the day, 5 of each gives us a good understanding of where they go. And the no infantry does, in fact, still take the win. Whether it be marginally or not, it does still take the win. Now, the big difference being this drop over here to 4.6 million. It's largely possible that the reason for that is because of the randomness of the critical march and the randomness of Brutus's ability. He's got the ability that he can give the 20% of the time the bowmen get the extra attack, the extra damage. And you've got your critical march, which 30% of the time in my particular case, or 40 maybe in yours, or 20, whatever the case might be. 30% of the time in my case, I'm going to get a critical attack. So in this particular run, maybe Brutus didn't work and the critical didn't work, and that's why it came to such a low amount, 4.6 million. Now, the that actually shows you why we use cavalry and bowmen. In this particular case with Brutus, I'm running two chances of not getting great results, the critical attack as well as his 20% ability. If that rolls badly several times in a row, using just bowmen means that they're going to hit low numbers that many times in a row. By adding the cavalry in, we are giving us sort of a surety or a safety blanket. We're saying that even if Brutus and the critical attacks don't do as well as we would hope they would, the cavalry is still going to be pretty constant. And you can see the results here. It is pretty constant throughout. And if we did this 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, the average would be very, very, very average. The range would be very close to each other because we've got the cavalry and the bowmen. Whereas doing the just bowmen over here, you're going to have an average, of course, but your range for your average is going to be potentially a lot higher. From 4.6 to 5.2 million is a very, very big difference. That's 500,000 points of difference. Whereas on the other one, 4.8 million to 5.2 million is only 400,000 points difference. So it does add up at the end of the day. You've got a 100,000 point variable that you've got to take into consideration. So I would say that the no infantry tier 10 definitely takes the win in this particular case. Now, if we look at the farmer count, this one was very interesting. I got quite surprising results, and I didn't expect this to happen. The KOA recommended marchers got an average of 1 million damage, whereas the no infantry march got an average of 770,000 damage. That's a 230,000 difference. That's a heck of a lot. That's a heck of a lot. Now, is this because we used Morian and Igraine? Possibly. The only way for us to know for certain is to now take this KOA recommended march and do that in our main account on the next Golem march and see if that makes a difference. We can do the no infantry versus the KOA recommended. By that time, I'll make sure I have all the troops that they've recommended and required for that formation. And we can cross compare the two and see how well they do with Dindrain and Brutus and see if it is a better march or not. But yeah, it was quite surprising, quite surprising indeed. But unfortunately, we'll have to wait for the next Golem March to be able to test those two out. Drop a comment down below and tell me what your march is. Tell me what sort of infantry you utilize if you use any. Tell me if you're using the KOA recommended or if you're using the online PvE calculator, for example. Let me know what you think of this video also down below, and if you liked it and if any of my videos are helping you, please hit the like button. It really helps me out a lot, and consider hitting subscribe and the bell notification icon so that you will always know and be alerted to when one of these videos goes live, and it might just help you at the end of the day to get more points against your golem. Guys, that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, be good, be well, and be safe. Bye.